Do you ever feel stuck, like you're living your life on autopilot? Are you ready to shift into high gear and reach the success you so richly deserve? Welcome to the Play Big Movement podcast. I am your host, Sharon Lechter, entrepreneur, business strategist, and best-selling author. Playing big is not about settling for good enough or being comfortable. It is about reaching your highest potential and achieving your greatest success. Join me in my Play Big movement as I interview top experts in business, money, and entrepreneurship, all ready to serve you and to help you play big, be number one in your field, live your legacy, and create maximum impact. Welcome, everyone, to this segment of the Play Big Movement podcast. I'm very excited because I have a new friend that I've been able to see a couple of times in the last few months at the Thinking Grow Rich Legacy Tour events. And boy, does he hold a room. It's incredible. His energy, I just like to draw a little of his energy. He just fills the room with his excitement. Carlos Siqueira, you are incredible. I'm so honored to have you with me today. Not only is he an author, Work Like an Immigrant, but he is so energetic. He helps people. He's a mentor to mentors. He coaches coaches. He started his career, I love this, at age 7, selling his mom's bread on the corner of the streets in Brazil. And that was his first toe into entrepreneurship, and he hasn't ever slowed down. In fact, he's got the most incredible little girl who's about that age that probably outsells her dad at every opportunity she has. Welcome, Carlos. Thank you for being with me.
Wow. Thank you, my friend. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here, my friend, with you. You know what I mean? Like, we were talking last week about this, and as we were, sharing the stages around the road and the path. And one thing that I always tell people, right? Like, you don't get what you want in life. You get what you tolerate and what you expect. Say it again, Brother Carlos. You don't get what you want. You get what you tolerate and what you expect. And I just been through hell so many times, my friend Sharon, as you know, some of my stories, that I just got tired. And I love the name of your podcast, the Play Big Movement. Because you see, life is so short. And you have two choices, right? What do you want to play at? You want to play in the field or you want to play in the bleachers? I've seen enough kids dying in my lifetime. And I made a promise to those little kids, selling bread, as you mentioned, in the streets of Brazil. And we always say to each other when we were selling stuff on the streets, whoever leaves this country, we're going to make an impact. We're going to show up to blow up, as I like to say all the time. And we're going to leave this country and we're going to come back and we're going to inspire others that in life, it's not about money. It's not about ego. It's not about fame. Because as you and I know, Sharon, those moments are so fast. They're so temporary. The fame, the $100,000 or $1 million payday from the stage, they're very, very fast. What it counts is the days that break you and the days that make you. As I always like to say, is the day-to-day, the struggle, you know what I mean? The no's, the rejections, the tears behind closed doors, the time away from your family. What is the price that you put on that? The invisible price. All those lives that I seen passed away in front of me, all the struggle and the abuse, it's no price in the planet that will ever pay for that. And it's an honor for me to be here, my friend, in front of you alive one more time to show up.
My dance partner, we danced the last event. You're so cute. So, Carlos, we see your energy, your incredible love that comes off of you everywhere you go. And we hear the story of the 7-year-old. Tell us a little, how did we go from the corner of Brazil to this podcast?
Wow. So my life is like one of those, I call like a Quentin Tarantino movie on steroids. It's a lot of crazy things happen from my birth into I'm being here right now, where my father, he was about to become a priest. And then he saw my mom and then they fell in love. Love at first sight. And my mother used to joke, it's a sin. I was like, that's wrong. You know what I mean? Some of my friends, and but here's the deal, right? They fall in love, they marry, and within 3 months of age after I was born, he died in a car explosion. Mm-hmm. And you go from this beautiful story, just like in life, where you never know when stuff is gonna hit the fan. And I'll try not to swear because you don't make you get fired up. And sometimes it just, you never know what to expect. That's why I constantly tell everyone to trade all their expectations for appreciation, because we went from the beautiful story to now hell, where now we go from, basic necessities, and my mother have to do 1, 2, 3 jobs. Now sometimes we didn't have, meat or beans, and we'll go weeks just eating rice. And, and it was so difficult. And then my stepfather was very abusive, and where I see him, abusing her behind closed doors. And he would just storm out of the house for days at a time. And she would walk out of the room, wiping those tears out of her eyes. And me as a little boy, I just want to help. And the other half of the week, she just want to drop me at my grandpa's house, and he would have physically abused me there. So, that was my emotional home. I tell people all the time, be careful. What is your emotional home? What is that place that you live every day? Are you thinking about and focus on the disgraces and the bad things that happen to you? And this, picture this, right? This is like the late 80s in Brazil. So much violence. Every day on the news is deaths and kidnapped, and somebody got chopped and somebody got killed. And it's like extreme violence. So that was the environment, Sharon, that I was in. And I went from this, having this, as I call from the stage, the whispers from God, from a little boy that was 6.5, that was about to stab himself, to God has spoken with me. And so I dropped that knife and I say, I'm going to do something with my life. I will read more books than anybody else. As I was telling you the other day, thank you for writing those books. As I thank Les Brown, as I thank Tony Robbins, by knowing you guys and getting to know you guys personally, as I told all 3 of you, thank you for writing and pushing above and beyond the comfort zone in times where you guys didn't know if it's going to sell millions, if it's going to get in front. I bet you guys have an idea, but you guys have no idea how your books, your phrases, your words, they go through borders. They go through far beyond places that most people would ever expect. That's why I always challenge people, if you have a voice, if you have a message, if you have something, put it out there. I remember having this talk with Les Brown a couple of months ago. You wrote those books, my brother, in moments of racism, in moments of chaos, in moments of you sleeping in the floor, in moments of you go and asking for, hello, Mr. Butterball, you know what I mean, asking for those jobs. And you did it when there was no fans, nobody there. And you did it, and you did it, Sharon, and he did it, and all the amazing people like you guys have been laying this path of personal development. You guys did it when nobody was there to vouch for you, to cheer for you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you went months without getting a paycheck. You guys just believed in yourselves. And because then that's why you guys created this legacy. They are forever here. It will never die. And I just knew, Sharon, I just knew when I was that little, 7 years old, I'm going to tell my mom, make a little bit more bread, Mom. Make a little bit more. I'm going to go help you sell this bread. And then I convinced her to sell the bread. For you guys, it's hard to see how big I am. If you're listening to me, I'm 6'5", 320 pounds. I'm very large. So I've always been 5 years, bigger, like normal than usual. So then now I'm in the streets selling bread for the first time. And guess what goes in my mind? This is scary. How can I sell here? Everybody's selling something. Like you guys right now probably thinking you are competing against social media, against some gurus, or against somebody, powerful, or this and that. Now it's so much noise everywhere. That was me 30 years ago, about to sell bread, day one. But I was like, what can I do that's crazy? That's totally against the comfort zone, right? That's the only way. In order to get attention nowadays, you have to be different. You have to not care for what nobody else is going to say. And because you love what you do and you have a mission behind it, you just got to do it. So what I did, I was like, okay, everybody's going to be either getting ready to get on the bus to go to work downtown. There's going to be hundreds of people there, or they're going to be about to cash their check. So guess what? I put myself with my bicycle right on those places. And I will go, what can I do to get their attention and make it fun for them as I sell the bread? So it's fun for all of us. I love what I do. The people that are buying from me are having fun, and we're having a great time. So I engage in my creativity. So I go and I start out of nowhere, Sharon, blowing a whistle with my mouth. Bread, bread, this is the best bread in town. You eat this bread, ladies and gentlemen, and you're gonna feel amazing. You eat this bread, and it doesn't matter what your spouse or what your boss say to you, you don't give a damn. You're gonna have a rocking day, period. And people be like tripping. Who's this little boy, chubby little boy, blowing the whistle? And then doing his thing. And then I would go above and beyond. How can I provide an amazing customer service to them as they were eating? So then they would come and they start eating their bread, smiling, and I go, close your eyes, guys. I would do something to them that I did to my boys that was on the streets, that they were very poor like me, that they didn't even have rice sometimes. At least I only had rice at times. Sometimes they didn't have rice for like a long time. So I would bring rice to the street, Sharon. I'll have them eat their rice, just like I had the people when they were eating the bread from me. And I told them, guys, close your eyes. And now imagine you are eating the rice with a nice piece of steak. Imagine, feel it, hold it, that piece of snake on your knife and salivating in your mouth. Now imagine your favorite character from Disneyland being right there with you saying, and I learned how to imitate. I learned sounds. So I was entertaining them. You know, my clients, I would entertain them. So they would buy the bread and they would have a great time. My friends on the streets, I would entertain them. So they wouldn't gonna become a criminal. So they wouldn't go and kill themselves. So they wouldn't go and do something bad because they had so much chaos. And I just want to bring a laughter, love, life, energy into their life.
And then, you still do. A few years later now, you still entertain the audience. You
11 years, my friend.
Excitement, you love it. And I love it. You know, you in your bio, you talked about you like to disrupt the status quo, like to shake it up, shake people up. And I love that you choose between being in the bleachers or on the field. That's such a perfect explanation.
You know, it's 11 years, Sharon. You know what I mean? It's like 11 years, my friend. I worked from age 7 to 18. That's why when I wrote this book, right, Work Like an Immigrant, I'm actually holding in my hand for you guys that cannot see it. This is just, I treat this book like a Bible. 30 years journaling. It's a lot of faith, a lot of love, a lot of energy, a lot of strategies in this book. This is a book that I tell people whenever you feel like giving up on your family, on your kids, and your spouse, on a business partner, on your life, just open. Just have it very handy in your library and open up in any page, and there'll be a lot of wisdom here. Mm-hmm. And it's just a different perspective. Because like I tell billionaires around the world, you know, I don't care how much money you have. Somebody has more than you, brother. You know me, Sharon, I'm behind a lot of billionaires and celebrities and very powerful people around the world. I speak several languages, and I tell those guys, and then when I go on missions in Brazil, Mexico, and Africa, I tell the little kids on the streets, in the hood, in the barrio, hey, just, I don't care how poor you are. Remember, I was there. There is still somebody out there that is still poorer than you, that don't have that food to eat today, that don't have a mom or a father to abuse them, that they are out there about to die at any time. So it's all about perspective. You know what I mean? And we live in an amazing country. For you guys that live right now in America and US, you guys are living like in London and Australia and Canada, and you know, in beautiful places. Just know that there's chaos out there right now in third world countries. But if you believe in your message, just like I believe in myself at age 7, working every single day from 11 years straight, went days and days and days without paydays. How bad do you want what you want? Eventually, I made it to America. That's why I always tell people, you don't get what you want. You get what you tolerate and what you expect. Don't expect less. Don't fall into the traps of other people's agenda, other people's emotion, other people's BS. No, you be different. You be you. You separate yourself from the pack. You want to be like Sharon Lechter? You want to be like myself? You push every single day and you get in the game early enough. And I can tell you one thing right now, my friends, hard work works. You can outdo talent any day of the week. Anything you want to become, a musician, an opera, an athlete, like badass, like Sharon Lechter, like myself, like Tony Robbins, you want to outdo us from the stage. It's possible. The question is how bad, how alive do you want it?
How bad do you want it? Or as Les Brown says, gotta be hungry.
You gotta be hungry, baby. I love you for the list. I know you'll be watching this.
So, Carlos, you have a beautiful family. Tell me what it is that gives you joy today.
Oh, my friend, nothing gives me more joy than, seeing my little one, Isabella. For you guys that know, don't know her, I want you guys to picture this, guys. Imagine Sharon Lechter, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Napoleon Hill, Stephen Covey, Carlos Siqueira, and Jesus Christ in one little miniature girl. That is my 7-year-old Isabella. She shares stages with Sharon before Sharon see her in action. She's just this one full of love and vibe, and she's on a mission to end bullying around the world. And it gives me so much joy that scene that she loves this. And that little one, Sharon, she went through hell since the birth of her life. So I always tell people, I don't talk much about this on stage anymore. And she's like a miracle, and I just thank God every day that she's alive, that after going through what she went through, she has this methylation. It's like a gene problem that's not a cure for it. And, doctors, they always will try to label your kids or give them drugs. And I say, nobody going to slow down my kids and give them drugs, and I just went on this journey, to quitting my job and to stay home as a father, to learn how to become a doctor, a coach, and a therapist, and to save my family. And like I always tell people, nothing's impossible in life. Whenever you go into a situation where you might have all the money in the world, you might have all the power, the connections, the Rolodex, but what happened when money doesn't fix the problem? What happened when there is not a cure for it? What happened when, and that's nobody that how much money you have in your bank account is going to take care, and God put me through that situation after I already made in America, after I already went through hell in Brazil, and I had so many other crazy stuff that went down in Brazil, with my stepfather being murdered, to my car dying in a car explosion. I thought if I was already done seeing the devil in the eyes in Brazil. But God was like, no, kid, we got a few more for you. And he made me went from nothing to coming to America, to making the millions, to lose everything due to addictions and due to the proximity, the people that we hang ourselves around with. I just did a post today on Facebook, and I say the best advice that I ever got from my grandma, treat everyone like you would treat your grandma. And you tell me who you're hanging with, son, and I will tell you who you are. Literally, you guys probably hear this quite a bit. And then, so she's my joy. She's my why, Sharon, and, and the kids around the world. People ask me all the time, Carlos, you always show up to blow up. Whenever you go on the stages, you're over there on the back on the stage, challenging all the other speakers. You better show up to blow up. You better show up over there, because that's somebody right now in that room. As you know, Sharon, on a crowd with 100 people, it's always going to be 6% of them. They are there on their last resort, their last dime. They might be suicidal, depressed, and anxiety, which is a problem that we have all around the world. People, millionaires and celebrities, you guys think about it. If they have all their money and all their cash and they kill themselves, they are depressed, they turn into drugs, what do you guys think is happening to the rest of civilization that don't have the money, that don't have the fame, that don't have the power, all this BS that people think that's going to bring you happiness? So it's a serious problem. So when I show up on a stage, I show up to blow up. I play around with Sharon, with Les Brown, with Tony, whoever they are. And I say, come on, guys, are you ready? We're about to show up to blow up in here. You better bring it, because I'm going to bring him. You know what I mean? And you make that fun again. You push them. Somebody has to challenge
them to see that there is there's a place for them in this world, and there's so much more life for them to live.
Yes.
Your little girl, when we were back in San Diego, she was so cute. I guess it was Anaheim when she wanted to. It was at Habitude Warrior in San Diego when she wanted to pray for me because I was having this cancer.
Yes.
Surgery. And she was so cute, just like her daddy, always there to support other people. So.
She loves praying for people, and then she's so little and she just loves. She's so connected with her faith to helping others. She doesn't like to see nobody sad. And then she just have that little attitude, a little kid. And she's like, guys.
I wonder where she gets that from.
Yes.
What's next for you, and how can people find you?
Oh, I'm going to be, doing a little tour right now with the Think and Go Rich. I'll be doing a little tour with Habitude Warrior. We have a bunch of amazing things happen on the way. Been a few talks with Hollywood about a movie, a lot of amazing things underway. But you guys can always follow me on Instagram @CarlosInspire. you always can look me up on my website, expertadvisoralliance.com. If you guys want to check it out, my book, Work Like an Immigrant is everywhere. The best way to is always follow me on Instagram. On Instagram, at Carlos Inspire, over there below my profile. That's a link there. Plenty giveaways, stuff that people normally pay $100,000 to go into your masterminds. I'm a firm believer of give. Just give. You screw all the other BS that's going on out there. I know people talk about jab, hook. I'm jabbing hundreds of times before I even throw a hook. I'm all about adding value and separating myself from the pack, I always challenge people, right? If you are so great, show me, don't tell me. Give people access to the training, the things that you are teaching, whether it's our billionaires or millionaires or celebrities or whoever is your niche, coaches, consultants, and speakers. Give it away your best. Showcase, because somebody out there right now don't have the money to afford you. And maybe that one thing that you gave it away is going to transform that person's life. And that person will come back with a whole tsunami, with a whole army of people. Because, just like I always tell people, you can never, ever forget what you come from. So at Carlos Inspire, ladies and gentlemen, anytime you guys show up there to blow up, and if you guys are on a mission to make the world a better place, hashtag show up to blow up. Hashtag must mode and hashtag make it personal. I'll give you a like and I will comment on your post. I have quite a few followers out there, and as you guys know, when you comment on each other's posts, that gives more visibility to your brand. So if you guys are on a crazy mission out there, definitely use those hashtags, and I'll keep an eye on you.
And he is 24/7 giving. And that smile, for those of you that can see this, know that the smile is contagious. His energy just gets the whole room going. And it's like every one of you has that opportunity and that capability. And you have to, never give up, because tomorrow's always brighter when you have the right attitude. Show up to grow up, right?
Yes. Show up to blow up, baby.
Get out of the stands and get on the field. So I love that. Carlos, thank you so much. Carlos is going to hang out with me for a few more minutes because we're going to do a shorter video for the Play Big Movement private Facebook group. So if you're not joined that, please do. Carlos, thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you as a guest. I appreciate it.
Anytime, my friend.
Thank you for listening to this segment of the Play Big Movement podcast. Please subscribe to iTunes and leave us a review, as well as join us in other areas of social media, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Sharon Lechter, and for Facebook, author Sharon Lechter. Thank you so much and have a fabulous day.